Oh my god, what is happening? What is happening? We're upside down. What is going on?
Not anymore, we're riding.
This is not what it looks like on my screen. You're just rolling over alligators. What was that?
Okay, I can't cross here unless I ground the engine.
Were we on our wheels that whole time?
Yes.
We were not on our wheels for me. Hey everyone, Jarek here, and Far Cry games are like comfort food for me. I know the product I'm getting when I give them my money, and I'm content with that product. In fact, I love the Far Cry games, especially since it's kind of difficult to find single-player PvE shooters nowadays, especially with co-op, and especially that's open world. I know there's this meme about everything turning open world, but a lot of the open world shooters end up devolving into battle royales or some survival game or something like Hunt Showdown. And if you like that kind of stuff, that's fine, but that's not really what I enjoy. So I'm always looking forward to Far Cry, because I enjoy another casual single-player first-person shooter. However, if you're in the camp where you just think Far Cry has gotten boring now, then you probably should save your money. And honestly, this whole video could just be summed up with that. If you liked previous Far Cry games and you want more, then it's worth your money. If you think Far Cry is boring now, then it's not worth your money. However, there are some new things I do want to talk about, and I think this does warrant a video. So that's what this video is going to be about. But before I talk about that, we need to thank today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is Monster Legends. Monster Legends is free to play and available on both Android and iOS. You start by building a world for your monsters to live in and fill it with habitats. There are hundreds of different monsters to collect, and you can even crossbreed numerous monsters of different elements and rarities to create entirely new species. Level up your monsters, choose their skills, and then use your strategy in battle. There are different PvP modes where you can conquer an adventure map, explore dungeons, or even fight in real time against your friends. On top of that, there's a new event every single week. Download the game through the link in the description and you will receive a special reward worth $30 for free. 50,000 food, 300,000 gold, and 10 gems. This is a limited time offer. It only lasts until October 24th. So again, check that link down below in the video information. And as always, a huge thanks goes to Monster Legends for sponsoring this video. I'm also doing a giveaway courtesy of the Head-On devs.
Head-On, apply directly to the forehead.
So if you already made that joke, we're not doing that. If you want an old-fashioned boomer shooter with some immersive sim elements, then all you have to do is like, comment, and subscribe. The comment doesn't have to be of anything specific. I just choose the comment that I like the most, or makes me laugh the most, or just makes a really good point, and then I will message you and ask for your Discord or Twitter or email and send you your key. Okay, Far Cry 6. Let's start with the graphics. Graphics have always played a really big part in the Far Cry games, and Far Cry 6 is no different. It still runs on the Dunia engine. That said, my first impression when installing Far Cry 6 was being surprised that the HD textures took 11 gigabytes of VRAM. For context, that's more VRAM than a 3080 has, which I have a 3080. 10 gigabytes of VRAM? Having 1 gigabyte more than a 3080 is kind of absurd for HD textures. Apparently, if you install them and you have less than 11 gigabytes, these HD textures just won't load. The next thing that surprised me is that the game itself, without the HD textures, is only 35 gigabytes. I guess if you add the HD textures, the total size is around 70 gigabytes, which is more close to a modern game. But still, 70 gigabytes for how big in-game Far Cry 6 is really surprising. Especially when you have things like Warzone being 200 gigabytes. Why do I need to have Warzone installed to play Modern Warfare multiplayer? I don't care about Warzone. I know it's because it shares assets and all that, but it's just so stupid. Anyway, yeah, HD textures require a lot for some reason, but the whole game's file size is not that big. As for the way the game actually looks, it's a pretty game, but I think for the first time ever, I'm not looking at Far Cry 6 and saying, this is the best looking game graphically I've ever seen. It didn't have that effect on me, like say when I played Metro Exodus for the first time, that game was just gorgeous. And it looks even better after the RTX update. Now don't get me wrong, Far Cry 6 still looks really good, but a lot of that has to do with the size of the world and just being in a tropical environment. Nonetheless, it's at the upper end of graphical fidelity, but I think other games have caught up. That certainly didn't stop me from standing on a cliffside and just looking off in the distance, because this game really can be pretty at times. I should point out that I'm playing this at 1440p with all settings set to max, but RTX turned off. While streaming with RTX turned on, I was getting 40 to 55 FPS, and I would rather have stable 60. The ray tracing also didn't seem to do as much as other games. Yes, it does seem to make the game look better, but not so much better that it warrants using more resources. That is with the exception of the RTX reflections, which do actually make things look significantly better. Reflections off cars and puddles and whatnot just look a little weird without it turned on. There also isn't DLSS because this game is sponsored by AMD, which is a little disappointing. DLSS is an amazing bit of technology. The main reason I would like to have DLSS is because it seems like anti-aliasing just doesn't look very good. Like, I really notice all the jaggies off in the distance. DLSS really would have smoothed all of this out. Now, I'm not going to do a full breakdown of the graphics in this game. Digital Foundry already did that, and they're a lot more qualified to talk about it, so if you want to check out that video, click in the top right and go look at that. Wait, you're looking at me, top right. I think it's over there. Since I know a lot of you play on console, the one thing I will pull out of that video is that the Xbox Series X and the PS5 versions seem to play at the equivalent of medium to high settings on PC. They also have dynamic resolution scaling and do seem to stick around 60 FPS, so don't feel ashamed to play it on console if that's your only option and you really want to. It obviously isn't as good as the PC version, but like, it's not unplayable. Okay, final conclusion on the graphics. Well, I nitpicked about a lot of stuff, but the game really does look good and it is pretty. Like, that's definitely not one of the complaints I have about the game. As I said, I frequently found myself just kind of standing there and taking in the environment. Now we move on to the story, and this is the same format as every Far Cry game we've gotten since Far Cry 3. The main villain is going to take the show. And thankfully, this is great to watch.
They are addicted to their surface perversions. Chaos, lies, like wild dogs. But dogs can be broken. They can serve paradise. And if a dog refuses to break, like Julio here, like Clara Garcia, like Libertad, then we must put them down.
Papa, you've proved your point.
Put Julio down.
This adds that little bit of extra motivation to keep playing the game. It's not really the main reason why I play it, but I mean, I guess it's nice to have. Unlike Far Cry 5, your main character is not a silent protagonist. I know a lot of people are going to be happy about that.
That's all you have to say?
You're here. That's what matters.
Just a second, hermana. I'm getting the hell out of Yara.
But you're in my camp.
But just like Far Cry 5, you're going to meet a lot of new characters through different regions. Every region has a big baddie you need to take care of, and you'll meet new friendlies and enemies along the way. I don't really want to sit here and explain every single event that happened in the plot. You know how the general structure of a game like this goes. What I will say is that I had fun going through the story and listening to what people had to say and the events that played out. And now we move to the gameplay, and this is where I have to get a rant out. I'm gonna make this its own chapter, so if you don't want to listen to me bitching, you can just skip forward. You can't look at anything Far Cry related online, whether it's on YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, anywhere, without being completely bombarded by this anti-Far Cry circle jerk. This is not me saying that you need to like Far Cry and you have to agree with me. The way it plays out is what annoys me. Because personally, I don't care if you disagree with me, you think Far Cry sucks, that's fine. You know, it's totally okay, it's a video game. Let's take an example. I have been streaming Far Cry 6 a lot, and every time I go to stream, I leave a YouTube community post. And I will always get comments like this. This one's pretty tame, so whatever. But then someone will reply and say, okay, well, just because you're not having fun with the game doesn't mean it's objectively bad. And then they'll reply with something like this. Every time. Don't be this guy. This guy's a dick. But usually the first comment isn't even something that logical. Like, that guy just wanted to see me tear apart the game. Okay, whatever. That's fine. But generally, these comments say something along the lines of, man, thank God I haven't wasted my money on Far Cry since Far Cry 4. Haven't bought anything since then. Then why are you here? Like, why do you think I care? This is the part I genuinely don't get. Anytime I say something like this, people are like, well, people are allowed to share their opinions. What do you hate people's opinions? A lot of problems with that. One, you don't need to have an opinion on everything. If I haven't played a game, I don't have an opinion on it. And two, they'll generally follow it up by saying, well, that's exactly what you do in your shitty videos. You share your opinions. Yeah, but you had to click my videos to find my opinion. I'm not going to you and saying your opinion is wrong. Far Cry sucks. Listen to me. The worst part about these comments is that no matter how rude they are, no matter how stupid they are, I can't say anything without getting 5 people replying to me saying, wow, that's so unprofessional, you're so rude, no wonder people stop following you. Yeah, okay. Here's what any logical person would do. They just stop following the series and stop clicking on things related to Far Cry. That's what I did with Call of Duty. I used to love Black Ops 1 and 2. I thought they were amazing, but then Call of Duty started changing. We added jetpacks and wall running and slow time to kill and hero shooter mechanics. All that is just not Call of Duty to me, and I hated it, so I just stopped paying attention to Call of Duty entirely, and I stopped playing it. And ironically, Call of Duty suddenly exploded again when they went back to the roots. It's almost like once a game finds a format, changing it will result in less sales, and it sells because people like that format. Crazy. Anyway, my main point with this rant is just don't be a dick. It's not hard to respect that people still like Far Cry. You don't need to tell them you're why the video games suck nowadays because you keep buying this garbage. I don't care. I enjoy Far Cry. I'm gonna keep enjoying Far Cry whether you want me to or not. In conclusion, for the most part, the format of this game is very similar to that of Far Cry 5. But I have to reiterate, this game is huge! So take a look at this map. It takes a good amount of hours to clear out this island, but then you're given access to up here. And if you scroll out, oh boy, this is a big map. There is a lot of content here. Like, this is the most content I've seen in a Far Cry game since Far Cry 2. This map also works in an identical way to Far Cry 5. Once you're given access to this island, you can go in any direction you want, and this is great. This is actually one of the things I like the most about Far Cry 5. Take away any linear aspect of the game, let you just explore. The story missions also don't have any linear aspect to them like Far Cry 3 or 4 did. It usually is just go to this area and do something. It stays truly open world. That's what I liked about Far Cry 5, and that's definitely what I liked about this game. As I was exploring, I definitely felt very ADD because I would find a loot crate over here or a side quest over here, and I just wanted to do everything. I especially wanted to find these crates because these crates will give you new guns, although you don't have to find them to unlock said new guns. But you can get the guns early, so I wanted to find them. They'll also give you extra clothes and gear and whatnot. Basically, this game encourages you to explore. So let's talk about these guns. Now, this is the same engine as Far Cry 5, however, something I noticed right away is that the guns feel way better. Now, they only really changed one thing, but that one thing is a really big deal. That is the recoil. You see, recoil in Far Cry 5 really just made it feel like my screen is being pulled up and the bullets were just coming out of my eyes. Recoil in Far Cry 6 actually feels like the gun is being recoiled up and bullets are coming out of the gun instead. Again, that may sound small, but this is a really big deal. I think it's the most notable with the FAL. So the guns do feel good to me, and there's a much bigger variety of weapons than at launch in Far Cry 5, which is a very good thing. They even added an entirely new section of weapons. These are the revolver weapons, and they're honestly some of my favorite in the game. I'll show you 3. The first one I got was this thing. It's basically a harpoon launcher, and it never failed to make me giggle. It's just that noise and the power. What the fuck?
Parts of Cuba, I think.
I don't know where that person came from. It was like a jump scare. Get absolutely fucked. Where did it go? The next one I want to mention is this revolver shotgun, which comes with a shield. If you're aiming at an enemy, they can't shoot you. Their bullets are just going to hit the shield. And this is not just a 410 revolver shotgun. This is a 12 gauge shotgun. Again, it sounds loud and it feels powerful. Oh my god. This is a very strong shotgun. I like this. The last one I want to talk about, I'm just gonna show you. I don't know how to describe it, but it's awesome. Oh my god! Holy shit!
They explode?
So yeah, these revolver weapons are some of my favorite, but they also added these Supremos. This is the thing they showed off in a lot of the trailers. You always have one on your back. The default one they give you fires a bunch of homing rockets. They're on a cooldown and they recharge with more enemies you kill. They're very useful for taking care of enemies. There's plenty more you can choose from, but I found this one to by far be the most useful. So yeah, same format, new toys. But there's one really big change I need to talk about. You know all those RPG mechanics they added in New Dawn? Well, they came back in Far Cry 6, and I don't like this. To be fair, they're really dialed down, like they're not as in your face as New Dawn. I honestly thought this would be a bigger deal when I heard about it before I started playing the game, but if you're being ADD and taking side quests and exploring like you're supposed to, you honestly won't really notice these mechanics. Problem is, if you just want to do the missions and go ahead, you're probably gonna run into a brick wall. The enemies are gonna suddenly be bullet spongy and you just seemingly can't do anything. Again, I didn't have this experience because I always seemed to be over leveled for what I was doing, but I don't like this concept and I don't think Far Cry needs to go this direction. In fact, I would much rather have Far Cry go the complete other direction. I would rather have it go towards Far Cry 2, not New Dawn. Again, this does not kill the game at all. I'm still loving it. I just don't like where this is leading. And I'm afraid they're gonna fully lean into RPG with the next game. I really hope they don't. The biggest thing thing people seem to complain about with the RPG mechanics are the ammo types, but to be honest, I just slap armor piercing on everything, and that just seems to be the best option. And once you unlock that for that type of weapon, then you can swap it to any SMG, any assault rifle, any sniper, and it's not really an issue. But yeah, again, I don't think these RPG mechanics need to be in Far Cry. Like, I just don't think they have any place here. And once again, I would like to see it go towards more Far Cry 2, where the game is more serious. The game wants to kill you. The game's more hardcore, I would say. You can learn a lot from Far Cry 2. Far Cry 2 has an amazing tone to it. It was an experimental game, so yeah, there's some things that should be changed. Malaria. The perfect cycle of Far Cry for me would be to release a serious game like Far Cry 2, then follow it up with a standalone expansion that's goofy and over the top like Blood Dragon, and just do that over and over again. I think that would make people enjoy both aspects, the serious and the goofy. That would also help stop it from feeling stale. But again, I'm pretty content with the way Far Cry is. I like the formula. It's like comfort food for me. I'm not gonna say it's a guilty pleasure because I will loudly say I love Far Cry. Like, I've loved every Far Cry game except for maybe Primal. So to come full circle, like what I said at the beginning of this game, if you like Far Cry like me, if you love this formula, if you've enjoyed every Far Cry game, just go buy Far Cry 6. You will enjoy Far Cry 6. If you think it's boring, stop buying Far Cry, stop going to threads to complain about it, just start playing other games. And I think that should sum everything up. I don't really have much else to talk about. Thank all of you for coming to my Twitch. I stream this game a lot, like 20 hours in a couple of days. So yeah, I got to chat to a lot of you. It was a lot of fun. If you want to join me in the future, my Twitch is twitch.tv/Jericho4GamingDragon. If you subscribe, you get to see my videos ahead of time. At the date of recording this video, I have not posted my Rainbow Six Vegas or my Coated Arms 2 videos, which I already have done. They're just sitting there unlisted. So again, early access viewing. And don't forget to check that link down below in the video information to try out Monster Legend yourself and collect the reward before October 24th. And of course, I want to thank you for watching this video.